Start here. You've been scrolling for the past hour. You look at the screen and tell yourself, okay, this is the last video. You even mean it. So you stop scrolling for a second. Then your thumb moves again. One more video. Then another. And at some point, you realize you're still there, scrolling, even though you already decided to stop. That's the confusing part, because you weren't enjoying it anymore. You weren't even paying attention, yet you couldn't put the phone down. And you don't really understand why. That moment when your decision and your behavior don't match, that's not laziness. That's not lack of discipline. That's something deeper.
The boredom myth. Most people think they scroll because they're bored, but boredom isn't the real reason. It's just the excuse your brain gives you. What's really happening is this. Your brain hates empty space, silence, waiting, doing nothing. Those moments force you to be present, and presence can feel uncomfortable. So the moment there's a gap, your mind looks for something, anything to fill it. And your phone is the fastest option. It's always there. It always responds. It never asks questions.
Here's the part people misunderstand. Scrolling doesn't actually relax you. It stimulates you. Every video, post, headline, or notification gives your brain a tiny hit of dopamine. Not enough to feel satisfied, but just enough to keep you going. That's important, because dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about anticipation. It doesn't say, that was good. It says, what's next? That's why you don't stop after one video. Your brain isn't looking for enjoyment. It's looking for the next thing. Just one more swipe. Just one more check.
And the reason it works so well is because it's unpredictable. Sometimes the content is boring. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it hits emotionally. You don't know what you'll get next. And that uncertainty keeps your brain hooked. It's the same reason people keep pulling slot machines, not because they're winning, but because maybe the next one will be different. Your phone is built on that same psychology. Another thing nobody talks about. Your phone keeps your brain in a constant state of alert. Every update feels important. Every notification feels urgent. Every headline feels like something you should know. Even when nothing is actually happening, your brain feels like it needs to stay ready. So even when you're sitting still, your nervous system isn't resting, it's scanning. That's why you can scroll for an hour and still feel mentally exhausted afterward. Not tired in your body, tired in your head.
Have you ever noticed this? You put your phone down, and a few seconds later, you pick it right back up. Same apps, same feed. Not because you wanted to, but because your brain didn't like the silence. That silence felt too open, too empty. That's a habit, not a choice. Your brain has learned quiet moment equals phone. So now it fills the space automatically, before thought, before intention. And sometimes scrolling isn't even about content. It's not about entertainment. It's not about curiosity. It's not even about habit. It's about avoiding something. A thought that keeps trying to surface. A feeling you don't want to sit with. Stress you haven't processed. Loneliness you don't know how to name. Uncertainty about your life, your future, or yourself. So instead of facing it, your attention moves. Your phone becomes a doorway out of the moment. Not because it solves anything, but because it delays everything. Your phone gives you an exit, not a solution, an exit. A way to step away from your inner world without having to admit you're doing it. It fills your mind with noise, with movement, with endless input. Just enough stimulation to keep uncomfortable thoughts from forming clearly. Just enough distraction to keep you from noticing what's underneath. And the longer this goes on, the more your brain associates silence with discomfort and scrolling with relief. Not real relief, temporary relief. The kind that fades the moment the screen goes dark. That's why telling yourself to just stop rarely works. It sounds simple, right? Just put the phone down. Don't scroll. Problem solved. But it's not that simple. You're not dealing with a bad habit. You're dealing with a trained response. Your brain has been practicing this behavior for months, years, maybe even decades. Every time there was a pause, a moment of boredom, a flicker of discomfort, your hand reached for the phone. Every time it worked, your brain learned, this is the solution. So now it's automatic. You don't decide anymore. Your brain does. Over and over again. Even if you want to stop, even if you know it's not helping, your body reacts before your conscious mind can catch up. And that's why willpower alone can't undo it. Willpower is a finite resource. It gets tired, it fades, it's fragile. Trying to fight an automatic, conditioned response with just discipline is like trying to hold back the tide with your hands. You can resist for a moment, maybe even a few minutes, but eventually the habit wins because it's been trained into your nervous system. That's why awareness matters more than force. Understanding the loop, the triggers, the patterns, that's what gives you real control. Willpower can't fight conditioning, but conscious attention can.
So what actually helps? Not deleting every app, not setting extreme rules you can't keep, not forcing yourself to quit overnight. What helps is something much smaller. It's noticing the moment before you scroll, that half-second pause, right before your thumb moves, right before the screen lights up. That's the moment most people miss. In that pause, you gently ask yourself, why am I reaching for this right now? Not to judge yourself, not to feel guilty, not to stop yourself, just to notice. Sometimes the answer is obvious. You're bored, you're stressed, you're tired. Sometimes the answer surprises you, and sometimes there isn't an answer at all. It's just habit. But here's the important part. The moment you notice it, something shifts. The urge doesn't disappear, but it weakens, because habits feed on autopilot, and awareness interrupts that loop. You don't need control, you don't need discipline, you just need that one small moment of attention, and over time, that moment adds up.
You don't need iron discipline. You don't need to be perfect. What you need is awareness. Because the moment scrolling stops happening on autopilot, something important comes back to you. Choice. You don't have to use it every time. You don't have to win every moment. But knowing you could stop changes how you relate to your phone. It's no longer in control. It's just there. And that shift, small as it feels, is where real change actually begins.